Steve Kornacki's comprehensive guide to the Preakness Stakes delves into the race's nuances and the impact of recent developments on the field. With the Kentucky Derby winner, Mystik Dan, stepping into the role of the favorite after the surprise withdrawal of Muth, the stage is set for an intriguing second leg of the Triple Crown at Pimlico Race Course in Baltimore. The landscape of the Preakness field *, the Preakness Stakes, traditionally smaller than the Kentucky Derby with only 8 horses competing, also presents a slightly shorter distance at 1 3/16 miles. This year's race, however, has been significantly altered by the unexpected scratch of Muth. Trained by the renowned Bob Baffert, Muth was the initial 8-5 morning line favorite and had previously bested Mystik Dan in earlier races. His absence has reshaped the betting landscape, positioning Mystik Dan, now at 8-5, as the new favorite. Historical context in Mystik Dan's chances *. Kornacki dives deep into historical data, presenting a compelling argument for Mystik Dan's chances based on past performances of Derby winners at the Preakness. Over the past 25 years, excluding the unusual 2020 race affected by the COVID-19 pandemic, 23 out of 25 Derby winners have competed in the Preakness. Of these, 18 finished in the top 3, and 10 emerged victorious. This 43% win rate for Derby winners in the Preakness underscores the advantage these horses often have, attributed to the less chaotic and more controlled nature of the Preakness compared to the 20-horse Derby. Despite his long shot status in the Derby at 18-1 odds, Mystik Dan's victory was no fluke. Historical trends show that even long-shot Derby winners have a respectable track record at Pimlico. In the last 25 years, 3 out of 9 Derby winners with odds of at least 10-1 succeeded in winning the Preakness. This statistic bolsters confidence in Mystik Dan's potential, despite initial skepticism about his Derby win being a fluke. The Bob Baffert factor * Bob Baffert's influence looms large over the Preakness. With Muth out, Baffert's hopes rest on imagination, listed at 3-1 on the revised morning line. Known for his strategic prowess, Baffert often employs a front-running style, a tactic that has brought him success with his last 3 Preakness winners, including National Treasure in 2023. Baffert's record 8 Preakness wins and his status as the most successful trainer in Triple Crown races make imagination a formidable contender, especially in a field that lacks other strong pace setters. The impact of rest and trainer strategies *. An emerging trend in recent years is the strategic decision by some trainers to skip the Derby, opting instead to target the Preakness with fresher horses. Baffert's enforced absence from the Derby allowed him to bring a well-rested imagination to Baltimore. This trend has seen an uptick in Preakness wins by horses that did not run in the Derby. From 1997 to 2016, Derby participants dominated the Preakness wins, but since 2017, horses that skipped the Derby have won half the time. Besides imagination, other horses benefiting from longer rest periods include Mugatu, Uncle Heavy, and Tuscan Gold, none of whom ran in the Derby. Tuscan Gold, trained by Chad Brown, is particularly notable. Brown, who has won the Preakness twice since 2017 with horses that skipped the Derby, is looking to replicate this success with Tuscan Gold. Weather and track conditions * weather could play a pivotal role in this year's Preakness. With rain already having fallen in Baltimore and more forecasted, a wet track is a distinct possibility. This adds a layer of complexity, as horses' performances can vary significantly on wet surfaces. Mystik Dan stands out in this regard, having dominated on a muddy track in the Southwest Stakes earlier this year. His ability to handle wet conditions could be a decisive factor. Among the other contenders, Uncle Heavy also boasts an unblemished record on wet tracks. Meanwhile, Imagination, based in dry Southern California, remains an unknown quantity on a wet surface. Kornacki notes that how these horses adapt to potentially muddy conditions could significantly impact the race outcome. Bayer speed ratings and final predictions * Bayer speed ratings, a key analytical tool in horse racing, favor Mystik Dan heading into the Preakness. He has posted 2 Bayer figures higher than any other horse in the field. Catching Freedom, Imagination, Just Steel, and Tuscan Gold also have strong Bayer ratings, indicating they are serious contenders. In his final analysis, Kornacki decides to follow his head rather than his heart. While initially drawn to the romantic story of Dwayne Lucas and Just Steel, he ultimately acknowledges the compelling data supporting Mystik Dan. With strong speed figures, favorable historical trends for Derby winners, and proven ability on wet tracks, Mystik Dan is his pick to win the Preakness. Steve Kornacki's elaborate breakdown provides a thorough understanding of the Preakness field, blending historical insights, statistical analysis, and weather considerations to offer a well-rounded preview of this exciting race.